Hey ratbags, it's Jade with another breakdown of all the survival news that went on with the Xbox Showcase and PC Gamer Show, and a few other things that I might have missed. Obviously the big one was State of Decay 3, a brand new story trailer, and seemingly some gameplay mixed in with CGI. Also confirmation on what type of game this is actually going to be, but no release date. We're also going to be taking a look at various different other survival games. From Vikings to Greeks, Cozy Corekeeper, Aloft, and much more. So, if you found this useful and you maybe checked out my previous video where I gave a recap of everything going on, make sure you leave a like, make sure you subscribed, and it does help get all the survival news by making sure you got notification bell dinged. Let's go. Somewhat surprising was to see this new game called Atomfall at yesterday's Xbox Showcase. It's made by the same people that make Sniper Elite series of games, and it is going to be a survival shooter. Yes, it does look a bit like budget Fallout, but it is kind of cool. It's set in UK in the 50s when maybe a nuclear explosion has gone off or something's gone wrong at a power plant, and we are left with the consequences in an alternate reality. Fair play to Rebellion, they've made games such as Strange Brigade that never really took off, and a few others trying to get out of the mould of just Sniper Elite. I'm really hoping that this is going to live up to expectations. It looks colourful, it looks fun, and I'm definitely interested in checking it out. Got to find out a little bit more about what makes it a survival shooter rather than just a regular one. But it's going to be a while, no release date other than just 2025, but I'm definitely going to keep my eyes on this and keep you guys in the loop. From one shooter to another, how about Path into the Abyss? This is a new shooter game set with a single player focus. Watching the trailer, I honestly thought it was going to be some sort of multiplayer hardcore survival game, but nope, single player, and it's set in South America, where apparently Buenos Aires has become the hot pot of fighting between different factions, as well as maybe alien beings trying to gather resources from the fallen city. It's definitely made by a small little indie team, so I'm not too sure how big a good deal this is actually going to end up being, but yeah, why not? If you like your shooters a little bit more realistic and gritty, then maybe this will be up your street. It definitely involves a lot more than just guns. We'll be using different magical teas made out of the mat to hopefully give us a boost and benefit as we take on the dark, bandits and terrifying aliens. No release date set as yet, but I'm expecting it probably 2025 hopefully. Now of course the big shooter revealed also at Xbox Showcase was Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl, which obviously has got a release date coming this September the 5th. We'll show more gameplay, more story elements, and just more crazy goings on with anomalies, aliens, and shooting more opposition forces. Gotta say, I've never really been into the Stalker series, obviously it's pretty old at this point, but I'm rooting for this game to be a success after all the trouble the development team have obviously had with the war in Ukraine. But not gonna lie, it's probably not something I'm gonna cover here on the channel when it releases in September. As a talking point, how do you guys feel about survival shooters? Do you think they actually match the genre? Are shooters with light survival mechanics enough to tear you away from the big ones like Ark, Conan Exiles, DayZ, etc.? And how do they compare to games like Rust? Okay, so after all that gloom and shooting, let's go to something a bit more cozier. Palworld obviously has dominated this year in terms of survival and creature collecting, so no doubt about it, we're going to see a slew of more kind of games like that. This is Among the Wild, maybe more of a cozy farming collecting game than survival, but it does seem to have some sort of combat element in it as you try and collect these furballs, basically. They'll be able to help you around your farmstead. It looks like it has got some maybe mild base building, or at least setting out your farm, as you gather resources and utilise the creatures to help you get more stuff too. They've got a closed alpha that you can go and sign up for right now. And yeah, the Palworld comparisons I think could be there. Obviously not a Pokemon style game, but certainly people love the thrill and joy of collecting stuff, whether that's in Ark or indeed Palworld. Probably if I did cover this, you'll see it on my second channel, JPG Crafted. A game I think is absolutely going to be huge once it launches, especially if it comes to console, is going to be Aloft. Its demos it's had over the last couple of years have been better than most full price games, with improvements made with each and every one. The latest has just added multiplayer, and we've got a tentative release window late fall 2024. Taking on mushroom enemies as you scour the landscape, turning a mysterious island into your own living ship. Base building, taming, you know the coup, it's all here. What else is here is the news it's published by Funcom. They are going to be helping out, so I'm hoping they're going to be leaving the MTX and battle passes out this one. I really don't think it really suits. But if it somehow helped them get the money they need to finish the game, then I suppose it can only be a good thing, even if I kind of have a downer on Funcom at the moment because of the way they treated Conan Exiles. How hyped would you be to see this arrive on Xbox or PlayStation in the future? Another unusual survival game shown off at the PC Gamer Showcase was Reka. In fact, this has been around for a while in terms of previews. It's basically build your base on a massive chicken as you explore, I guess, a Slavic mythical world. Using magical powers and abilities to forage, no more chopping trees with your axe, just fling your fingers and use a spell. Interesting take, definitely more on the cozy side, although it may still have some dangers. You'll be able to customise and decorate the insides of your house on top of your chicken to your heart's content and use it to traverse a huge open world. NPCs and other people will come along to help the story, and yeah, I think this could have potential to be an outside hit. You can go and try Aloft today, as I said, with the new multiplayer demo, well as Reka and this game, Aska. All three are appearing as part of the Steam Next Fest with new demos. Aska's been another one that has been spoken about a while. I was planning to give it a try, but I did find that some of the gameplay after watching it seemed a bit dense. Lots of baity videos out there titling it the next Valheim, but it's very different. You are managing your tribe. It is more of a colony management game just as much as it is a open world survival. Building out your settlement, recruiting villagers and taking on mythical beings from Viking lore. As I said, that focus on managing your tribesmen to help you either in combat, tend to your farm or simply guard it is going to be pretty key to success. And I do believe they're adding co-op to it as well, so even if you don't like playing with just you and your AI friends, you can actually group up with others. Demo's live today. They've had a demo pretty much for a long time now in different various settings, but the actual release is not far off. The 20th of June, this game comes out in Steam Early Access. So no, it's not Valheim, something very different, just with that mythical Viking twist. From Vikings to Grecians, this is Dawn of Defiance, something I showed off a little while ago, and now I'm glad to see they've actually added some more mythical beings to their next trailer. No, someone hasn't left their cheat codes on to be God mode or fly. It's one of the abilities you'll be able to earn from defeating various gods in this open world survival builder. In fact, 12 unique Gorgons that you may need to take down and then be able to utilise their abilities. Strong focus on combat and of course base building. You can play on your own or with some of your friends in co-op, and again it's coming out relatively soon, the 15th of August. I'm actually getting more and more excited about trying this one out. Hopefully they can maybe tone down the cloth physics just a little bit. But the base building looks pretty cool, and yeah, as long as the combat's pretty decent, I think this could be a winner. And yes, I know most of you guys here on this channel prefer zombies, dinosaurs and the occasional tropical paradise survival, but there are lots of cozy survival games that really do scratch the itch for me. One of them is Corekeeper, which I've covered on my second channel again. It's got a full release date as 1.0 and coming to consoles, all platforms, on the 27th of August. But their new trailer shows off customizable world terrain, whole new abilities and classes that you can mess around with, including Necromancer, and a ton more new enemies and bosses. 1 to 8 player co-op, this game has absolutely been one of my favourites over the last few years. Absolutely love it, and I'm going to be all over it when it releases. So pleased to see it's come to consoles like Switch, Xbox One and PlayStation 4 as well, so everyone gets a chance to try out one of the best survival crafting games going. A real mix of Minecraft a la maybe Stardew Valley and a big dose of Terraria. I'm going to be starting up my playthrough that I've had for a while now on my other channel, so make sure you check it out. And alright, this one might be taking the cozy format just a bit too far for you hardcore survival fans, but listen, my avatar is a rat, I have an affinity for rodents, so of course I'm going to support a cozy crafting survival game set where you're a mouse. This is Winterburrow, yes, maybe with that top down view like you might have seen in games like Don't Starve. Gathering resources, tending to your crops, building up your homestead and trying to access and unlock new parts of the world. It's got pretty big dangers, including a big massive snowy owl and lots of crafting and lots of getting new gear. Definitely something I'll consider checking out on my other channel, but not until 2025 when it's meant to be releasing early. And finally, the big news. As I said yesterday, I did a couple of videos talking about this. State of Decay 3 got fully revealed with a new story trailer and more details via their Steam page and subsequent interviews that came quite a bit later. It's a shame not to see it arrive straight away, but a few hours later they had some stuff going on. State of Decay 3 is going to be a co-op focused game, 4-player maximum, so no big MMO servers. What is unique is they are going to have a persistent world. Previously you would join your friends, and if they decided to shut down the game, you'd have to be just booted out and go and play your own. And as I mentioned in yesterday's videos, I wouldn't be surprised if they tapped some of the Grounded devs' knowledge, because they've introduced the same persistent world system that Grounded has. You'll be able to share your worlds with other players, all 4 of you can group up and pretty much survive on the same world. So even if one of you leaves, the others can carry on playing, making progress in that same world. So not the big MMO stuff, but maybe a happy compromise. They're promising more repercussions and really feeling it when some of your community members die now with permadeath. And yes, apparently there were some shots of gameplay mixed in with these CGI trailers. Listen, until I see a full-blown nothing but gameplay trailer, I'm always going to assume it's CGI, because the short moments they do show are just too well blended in. Which could be considered a good thing, but sometimes you just want to see the gameplay, no smokes and mirrors. Surprising to not see a release date for this though. It got announced back in 2020, so for them to reveal it for the second time only, but still have no concrete info about when it's coming out, very surprising. Could they be trying to set things up and get it ready to arrive on PlayStation? Xbox Phil Spencer has said they're going to be releasing more and more games now on other platforms, so that may be the case after seeing how well Grounded did. I'm still hopeful of a release date early, maybe 2025, but that's the projected time that people are most assuming. So there we go folks, what do you think out of all them games? A bit of coziness, a bit of shooting, a bit of Zeds, and a lot more. What's your favourite style of survival game? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'll have even more to recap soon. I'm going to go and start looking at all the different demos available as part of the next fest and give you a rundown about which ones are the best to play. Until next time, ratbags, laters.